The stage is set for an epic showdown between two global titans as the U.S. confronts China with unprecedented fury over its unyielding support for Russia in a world teetering on the edge of chaos. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's fiery rhetoric has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, warning of severe repercussions if China continues to bolster Russia's defense capabilities. The stakes couldn't be higher, with Washington's warnings serving as a stark reminder that global stability hangs by a thread. The U.S. accuses China of playing a dangerous game, risking the very fabric of international security by aligning itself with a pariah state. But that's not all. The U.S., wielding its economic might, has unleashed a barrage of sanctions targeting Chinese technology giants, accusing them of espionage and intellectual property theft. The White House has painted Beijing as the archvillain, a rogue state hell-bent on undermining Western democracies and rewriting the rules of global governance. And yet, China remains defiant, dismissing U.S. criticisms as hypocritical and baseless, accusing Washington of using national security as a smokescreen for economic protectionism and political hegemony. This high-stakes drama is more than just a clash of superpowers. It's a battle for the soul of the global order as the U.S. and China lock horns. The rest of the world watches with bated breath, caught in the crossfire of this titanic struggle. With both nations digging in their heels, the question looms large. Will this confrontation lead to a new Cold War, or can cooler heads prevail to steer us away from the brink? Stay with us till the end as we unravel this electrifying tale of power, politics, and peril, where every move could change the course of history. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. The meeting between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Vientiane marked a critical juncture in the geopolitical landscape. Blinken, representing the interests of the U.S., conveyed deep concerns about China's involvement in supporting Russia's defense industrial base. This support, he argued, poses a significant threat to European security, prompting the U.S. to consider taking further measures to counteract it. During the discussions, Blinken emphasized the potential consequences of China's continued alignment with Russia, highlighting that the U.S. would not hesitate to implement additional sanctions or actions if necessary. The meeting underscored the increasing tension between the U.S. and China, as both nations navigate a complex web of alliances and geopolitical strategies. The conversation ended on a cautious note, with both sides acknowledging the importance of maintaining open channels of communication. This commitment to dialogue is seen as crucial in managing the delicate balance of power and preventing misunderstandings from escalating into more severe conflicts. The U.S.'s concerns are not unfounded. Given the recent developments in the geopolitical arena, the Pentagon's new Arctic strategy for 2024 reflects a growing apprehension over the deepening cooperation between China and Russia. The strategy outlines the strategic importance of the Arctic region and the potential threats posed by the increasing presence of these two major powers. The U.S. sees the Arctic as a critical area of interest, particularly in light of the strategic and economic opportunities it presents, including new shipping routes and untapped natural resources. China and Russia's collaboration has been particularly evident in their joint military exercises and technological exchanges. This partnership is seen as a direct challenge to the established power structures and alliances that have dominated global politics. The U.S.'s response to this growing alliance has been multifaceted, including diplomatic engagements, economic sanctions, and bolstering military presence in strategic regions. The issue of sanctions has been a contentious point between the U.S. and China. The U.S. has imposed various sanctions on Chinese companies and officials, citing concerns over human rights abuses, technological theft, and national security threats. In response, China has criticized these measures as just and retaliatory, arguing that they are an attempt to contain China's rise on the global stage. One of the key areas of contention has been the U.S.'s sanctions on Chinese technology firms, including restrictions on companies like Huawei and sanctions on companies involved in the semiconductor industry, such as TSMC and ASMR. These sanctions have been justified by the U.S. on grounds of national security, with concerns that Chinese companies could be used to conduct espionage or disrupt critical infrastructure. The U.S. has also expressed concerns over China's actions in the South China Sea, its treatment of the Uyghur population, in Xinjiang, and its approach to Hong Kong. These issues have further strained U.S.-China relations, leading to a complex interplay of diplomacy, economic competition, and military posturing. As the U.S. navigates these challenges, the importance of maintaining a clear and consistent policy towards China is paramount. The U.S. must balance its strategic interests with the need to engage with China on critical global issues, such as climate change, trade, and public health. The Biden administration has sought to build a coalition of allies and partners to address these challenges collectively, recognizing that a united front is more likely to yield positive outcomes. In this evolving landscape, the role of multilateral institutions like the United Nations and regional organizations such as ASEAN becomes increasingly important. These institutions provide platforms for dialogue and cooperation, helping to manage conflicts and build consensus on global issues. The recent meeting between Blinken and Wang Yi on the sidelines of the ASEAN ministerial is a testament to the value of these forums in facilitating communication and understanding. Just a quick reminder to hit the like button below. YouTube has been restricting my videos a lot recently because of bots, so your like does help out this video massively in terms of the algorithm in YouTube. The coming months will be crucial in determining the trajectory of U.S.-China relations. The decisions made by leaders in both countries will have far-reaching implications not only for the bilateral relationship but also for the broader international community, as the importance of diplomacy, restraint, and a commitment to peaceful resolution of conflicts cannot be overstated. The U.S.'s approach to China is guided by a complex set of considerations, including economic interests, security concerns, and values. As the U.S. continues to engage with China, it must navigate these challenges with a clear-eyed understanding of the stakes involved. The goal is not only to protect U.S. interests, but also to contribute to a stable and prosperous international order. As this narrative unfolds, the international community will be watching closely, analyzing each move and its potential implications. The stakes are high, and the path forward is fraught with challenges. However, with careful diplomacy and a commitment to open dialogue, there is hope for a constructive and peaceful resolution to the issues at hand. The complexities of the current geopolitical situation are further compounded by the economic interdependence between the U.S. and China. Both countries are major players in the global economy, and their trade relationship is one of the most significant in the world. This interdependence creates a delicate balance, where both nations must carefully weigh the economic costs of any actions that could disrupt their commercial ties. The U.S. has been particularly concerned about China's practices regarding intellectual property and technology transfer. The issue has been a long-standing point of contention, with the U.S. accusing China of engaging in unfair practices that undermine American businesses. This has led to the implementation of tariffs and other trade measures aimed at protecting U.S. industries. However, these measures have also had repercussions, leading to a trade war that has affected global markets. China, for its part, has defended its policies, arguing that they are necessary for its development and modernization. The Chinese government has emphasized its commitment to open markets and has called on the U.S. to lift what it sees as unfair restrictions. The rhetoric has often been sharp, with both sides exchanging accusations and threats. Amidst these tensions, there have been attempts to find common ground. High-level meetings and negotiations have been held in an effort to de-escalate the situation and reach mutually beneficial agreements. However, these efforts have often been complicated by the broader strategic competition between the two countries. Issues such as technological dominance, military power, and influence in international institutions are all areas where the U.S. and China are vying for leadership. The technological rivalry between the U.S. and China is particularly pronounced in the areas of AI, 5G, and semiconductors. The U.S. has been wary of China's advances in these fields, seeing them as potential threats to its own technological leadership. This has led to a series of measures aimed at restricting China's access to critical technologies, including export controls and investment restrictions. Companies like Huawei have been at the center of this conflict, facing sanctions and bans in several countries. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. China has responded by accelerating its efforts to achieve technological self-sufficiency. The Chinese government has launched initiatives aimed at boosting domestic innovation and reducing reliance on foreign technologies. This includes substantial investments in research and development, as well as support for key industries. The goal is to build a robust and independent technological base that can compete on the global stage. The semiconductor industry has been a key focus area in this competition. Semiconductors are essential components in a wide range of technologies, from smartphones to military systems. The US has a dominant position in this industry, but China has been working to catch up. Companies like TSMC and ASML play crucial roles in the global semiconductor supply chain, and their involvement is seen as vital to the future of the industry. The US has taken steps to limit China's access to advanced semiconductor technologies, citing national security concerns. This includes restrictions on the sale of certain products and technologies to Chinese companies, as well as efforts to persuade allies to do the same. The US has argued that these measures are necessary to prevent the potential misuse of these technologies by the Chinese military or government. China has criticized these actions as an attempt to stifle its development and maintain US dominance. Chinese officials have argued that the US is using national security as a pretext to engage in protectionism and prevent China from achieving its legitimate economic and technological goals. This narrative has been used to rally domestic support and strengthen China's resolve to pursue its technological ambitions. The tensions between the US and China extend beyond technology and trade. There are also significant disagreements on issues such as human rights, governance, and the international rules-based order. The US has been vocal in its criticism of China's policies in regions like Xinjiang and Hong Kong, as well as its actions in the South China Sea. These issues have been framed as matters of principle, with the US advocating for human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. China has rejected these criticisms, accusing the US of interference in its internal affairs. Chinese officials have argued that each country has the right to choose its own path, and that the US should respect China's sovereignty. This has been a major point of contention in diplomatic interactions, with both sides holding firm to their positions. The US has also been concerned about China's growing influence in international organizations and institutions. China has been increasingly active in bodies like the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and the World Trade Organization. The US has expressed concern that China is seeking to reshape these institutions in ways that reflect its own interests and values. This has led to calls for greater vigilance and efforts to counter China's influence. China, on the other hand, has argued that it is simply seeking to play a more active role in global governance commensurate with its growing economic and political weight. Chinese officials have emphasized the importance of multilateralism and have called for reforms to make international institutions more inclusive and representative. This has been part of a broader narrative of promoting a multipolar world order in which no single country dominates. The situation is further complicated by the actions of other major powers, including Russia and the countries of the EU. Russia's relationship with China has been a source of concern for the US, as the two countries have been drawing closer in recent years. This partnership has been seen as a way for both countries to counterbalance US influence and protect their interests. The US has been watching this relationship closely, wary of the potential implications for global stability and security. The EU, for its part, has been navigating its own complex relationship with China. European countries have significant economic ties with China and have been seeking to maintain these while also addressing concerns over human rights and security. The EU has been cautious in announcing engagement with criticism and seeking to work with the US and other allies on a coordinated strategy. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.